Okay, so let's call the meeting to order and do roll call. I'll start. Lexi O'Brien, present.
Jill Magruder, here.
John Buck, present.
David Cosgrove, present.
Emerson Smith, present.
It's Savas, present.
Okay. First thing I have on our agenda is community input, and we did get an email from someone. It was an anonymous request. I'll go ahead and read it. In the morning between 6 and 7 a.m., joggers routinely jog in the roadway instead of the pedestrian lanes or sidewalk. This mostly occurs on Lockwood in the downtown area, especially at Lockwood and Rock Hill. Groups of them run 3 to 4 abreast and refuse to move over, blocking an entire lane, which causes motorists to have to drive into oncoming traffic to get around them. They can also be hard to see in the dark and on curved streets. And their request is they want to see increased patrol of streets, especially during morning rush hour, and contact people who are observed running in the roadway. So pretty early in the morning, 6 to 7. I think now it's daylight, but
Yeah.
that's, I mean, we don't really have a way to respond individually to this person. But Vince, is that something that you want to respond to now, or is it something that you want to think about?
I'll respond to it now. I think you shared that a few weeks ago, right?
May 2nd.
Yeah. I remember that a few weeks ago because I had my team.
Oh,
look at it.
we just haven't had a meeting
Correct.
since.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you'll get it for your inbox too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did share with my team and we advise our school division regarding that complaint. And they have been in that area making observations. I think they did have a chance to interact with a group of runners.
Okay.
You know, we have to be mindful of how we have those conversations. We can tell them so much and we can suggest as long as they're not impeding the road. And the runners that our people did encounter on the day that they did encounter some runners out there were not impeding the flow of traffic. If they're not impeding the flow of traffic, there's nothing we can do.
Right.
And then secondarily, unfortunately, because it was an email that we can't necessarily follow up with,
Right.
there's no way to follow up for me to get additional information.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a tough one, Lexi, because, you know, Webster Grove is very unique in that regard. We have a lot of people who ride bikes here.
Yeah.
To work, you know, and recreationally, whatever, you know. We want people to be able to do those things. We want them to do them responsibly, so. You know, we're mindful of that in terms of our interactions with.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. And there are places that do lack sidewalks, and so there really isn't a choice but to go,
Yeah.
you know, on the shoulder, or if you're with a group. So, okay, well, it was a good safety question, and
Yeah.
if anybody cares, they'll be able to listen to a recording and hear your response. So, all right, and we'll go back to the agenda. I just wanted to let you all know we have a social post that we've used in the past. In fact, I used it just before the event when I plugged, hey, this event is coming up on the 8th. And I also said, hey, if you can't make the event, but you have questions, you know, we're happy to respond. And so it's just a little green social post, Emerson, same ones we used when Sloan was here. And it's a QR code to go to that form. So I just wanted to let y'all know I have that if I happen to be on Facebook, but I think I'm going to be there less and less. My posting. I posted a newsreel from the BBC with no inflammatory words, and they took it down. They don't like news about Palestine. Anyway, if I have occasion, if somebody's like, if a topic is coming up and the conversation is like, well, you know how it can get squirrely. It's like, you know, if you have questions, you can always contact the police department.
Yeah.
But if you're not comfortable doing that, or you don't have time, you just want to go online, I'm going to put that post on there.
Okay.
So let's try and get this communication more open instead of this churning in
Yeah.
online spaces, which is annoying.
Yeah.
When's the last time you checked that QR code to see if it worked?
before I posted it.
Okay. Sometimes they expire or they're temporary.
Yeah, no, I had double checked it and it's still working, so. I still have the same Bitly account, so.
Good.
All right, and next, we may want to combine these two things. It's an update from you, Vince, as well as recapping the community impact event, so.
Yeah, so thanks. So talking about the community event that we did, it was our first one. And, as we continue to move along in our journey together, I think each version, as we move forward, will be better, number one, in terms of the content, and then in terms of the participation. So I would estimate we probably had about 20 independent citizens that came in. And then just by virtue of all the department members and all of you that came in, who brought along people, we maybe had 40 to 45 people. And, it was a great event for a couple of reasons. Because we got to interact with members of the community that we hadn't interacted with previously. That's the first reason. Second reason is that was an opportunity for us to come together and do something and have tangible results. We did this, we planned this, and this was the outcome, right? The third reason was, from my standpoint, in terms of my team, I talked about this on that day. That's a great opportunity for us to build leadership. Having my people come up there, present on something, and not everybody loves public speaking, but that's just a way to help them overcome some of the things that are going to make them better in the future, better leaders, and then by virtue of that, they're going to provide better service for the community because they've been through some of those things in terms of getting uncomfortable sometimes. So I thought it was a great event. I thought all the people that came out from our board did a great job of engaging. I have no complaints. Our partners, our external partners, the Lions, Dispatch, there was snacks everywhere. There was food, there was snacks, and it was great. And we really had a good time. I think my people really enjoyed it as well. And I don't know if your families came. I think some of your families came. Got some positive feedback. So that was my perspective on that. I'll give you the rest of my update, and I would ask the group to kind of give your feedback as well. As far as what we have coming up in the police department, there's so much going on right now. I'm out of my mind. I had my meeting with the city manager earlier, and I was telling her, I was like, man, I woke up last night having an anxiety attack, because I have all these things and I'm balancing them out, right? I get where you're coming from with your trial, man. Like all these little things, and I want them to come together, like I'm that type of guy. I need things to come together. I need the blocks to fit into places, But so we recently had 2 retirements, which brought us back down to 43. We just tentatively offered someone a job contingent upon them successfully passing the psychological exam. He seems like it's okay. And then we have a couple other people we've interviewed. So we're working to get to 48. We're right there. And then we had 2 retirements. But with that comes all these other things, right? We have promotions that are sitting and waiting because we have the promotion processes, but it's contingent upon this other promotion process that we have going simultaneously. So we're trying to fit things in. And as I mentioned at our last meeting, Aaron does a great job of kind of behind the scenes organizing and orchestrating all the movement for that. So it just takes time. It's hard for me sometimes to come to terms with that. I have to take a deep breath. So we have that going on. And then we have all these special events coming. We have these runs coming. We have 4th of July parade coming up. We have the carnival coming up. We have, we're starting to plan for Jazz Fest. So all these things, and then we have new people in new command executive positions that we're trying to train not only into what their job responsibilities are now, but also this is the Webster Groves Police Department way of doing things. Like this is what we do. This is our philosophy. These are our core values, and making sure that those things are instilled not only in them but in everybody in the organization. So a lot of moving pieces right now, but a lot of great things happening. The outdoor special events are the ones that I really think I want to highlight. You know, as I mentioned earlier, we just worked with John and his team over at the college, and from our perspective, the event went pretty smoothly.
Mhm.
Working with Dave, you know, who was very responsive, you know, real good communicator. We appreciated that. Yeah, that's where we are.
What is the first event that the bicycle team will be?
So we've done several.
Oh, that,
Yeah, we've
there
done
was a.
several. We've done some small ones. We've done a couple medium-sized ones, but we've been using the team. We used the team for the bike to school day.
Oh, okay.
We used the team for a run that was out there. We used them for a couple of other smaller events. We have a run coming up. I think it's, do you know when that run is, that All-American 5K is, that's coming up, but we're gonna be using them for that. Yeah. They were really gonna be highlighted in Dave Buck's
Yeah.
bike,
Yeah,
wow, it was wow, Webster on wheels, but it got rained out.
Mm.
So what I think is the time that you're really gonna see, they're gonna be most. When they're gonna be really out there and you're gonna see them and you're going, oh, there's the bike, that's definitely the bike team. It's gonna be at the parade and at the carnival.
Yeah.
So you'll see them at smaller things up to that point, but that's when they're really gonna be utilized to the max. Yeah. What else was I was supposed to do? Up there, I talked about that. I don't have anything else. I was just hoping you guys could give some feedback on that event. Well, unless you have any other questions for me. Before we
No.
go.
I don't have any other questions? So I thought the event itself went really nicely. I think that the different sections were, appropriate length. They didn't go on too long. People seemed engaged. Speakers seemed pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
And I could hear them in the back of the room.
Yeah.
So that was good. I guess having planned events before, I think that the timing of when save the date and
Yeah.
announcements went out probably cut into the
Yeah.
turnout.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you. And, it's my fault. It's my fault, and I should have done a better job with that. And I'll tell you honestly, like I was like, man, I don't want to be too much in people's face and then they'll forget about it. But then, I couldn't wrap my mind around like what was the right timing. You're absolutely right. And I'll do better next time. I'll make sure that we're.
I mean, we're happy to help if that's appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, just
Yeah.
let us know.
Give me the timeline next time. Tell me the timeline.
We'll do that. We
Yeah.
can actually sort of maybe as a morbid way to say it, but we do postmortems on
Yeah.
events where
Yeah.
I come from professionally. So we could come up with, here's what we would recommend if we were
I love it.
gonna reach it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did we get any Q&A? With any topics that stood out that we can focus on in the group?
I mean, so, and we gave, and that was your idea, and I thought it was a great idea, because people usually normally do want to ask questions. And we set aside time on the back end of that. and
Yeah.
We gave people opportunity to ask questions. We got a question from a pretty select group of individuals that were there, and they were like, we're gonna hold your feet to the fire, chief. Like about dogs and traffic issues and stuff, just the typical Webster Grove stuff. I think that was it, right? It was traffic.
And you had some questions, just to keep them on their toes and
Yeah.
make sure everybody got their
Yeah,
talking points out.
yeah,
So, but I didn't hear any questions that occurred to me like, oh, that's really funny stuff for us to think about. John Slaughter was there as well, says that with him. And Emerson, I know you were there.
Mhm.
You have any thoughts on it?
I think we were well, and then I think the topics was on time, the bicycle, internet, and definitely golf carts. But I don't like them. But I think it was really, I think next time you do it, it's gonna be even better.
Yeah.
Because, absolutely, we're gonna get around.
Sure. Yeah.
I was getting ready to say a few minutes ago, consider doing something, at the pool.
Yeah.
This summer.
Yeah.
I think they got enough space in the back, not the back side area where you can set up a table, officers there and stuff like that.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
I forgot to let you
got that
guys
on my
know.
list too.
We are doing on, I forgot what date it is.
It is
First
August
two-
5th from
Yeah.
5 to 8.
Oh my
National
goodness.
Night Out.
National Night Out. So when I came in last year, and listen, Shrewsbury, if you just happen to see this in your spare time, I love you, Shrewsbury. But what I said last year, I saw what Shrewsbury was doing for National Night Out. And I was like, why is Shrewsbury outshining us to this degree? So put our team on it. Our team is coming up with, has developed a great plan. We're gonna have a great National Night Out in collaboration with our fire department. It's gonna be at the pool, like Lexi said, we're gonna have all sorts of different organizations represented there, all sorts of giveaways for kids.
Oh, good.
And the pool
Family
is
oriented
free.
pool's free.
You're gonna get
It's cool
tons.
stuff. Kids can come and jump on fire trucks, police cars, all sorts of cool stuff. It's gonna be a great event and
Good.
excited. So good stuff.
And we are invited to have a
Yes.
table at that. I think that would be a wonderful opportunity. I mean, just based on, there were not a lot of people that weren't already sort of in the police community family.
Yeah.
At that event, but this one there'll be more. I think people come by, having the trinkets at the table attracted a lot of interest.
Yeah.
And even if they didn't take one, they're like, oh, what is this thing? And I'm like, oh, I brought one. I'm not gonna pull it out because it's really loud. It's one of those alert things.
Mm,
But yeah, I had conversations with quite a few people, so.
Curious, Vince, like compared to the coffee with the cup, like, do you think we got more out of that type of event or this, like,
This was infinitely better.
yeah, okay.
Coffee with a Cop is 8 to 10 people. And we see those people throughout the year all the time anyway.
Yeah, I've seen the same.
You know? So I
Yeah,
think that
okay.
there's so much more potential here.
Yeah.
I think we can roll the coffee and the crowd cop into this.
Yeah, yeah.
I think had we done, as you guys had suggested, and I should have listened to you in terms of the timelines. We could have moved the coffee and cop crowd into this. So now we know.
I mean,
Businesses were really enthusiastic about putting in flyers. I think it just was running a little late, because I saw there had been the police foundation,
Yeah.
they had flyers
Yeah.
for something the previous weekend.
Yeah.
And it was like a fun event that had activities for kids. And so I saw them around, oh, let's get our flyers, so.
The pool is a great idea. I mean, people are
Yeah.
gonna come just for that. And then by nature of being there, they'll, maybe stop and talk. So.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool.
What is the skate park though?
They finished building it.
When they finish- No, is there, what is the time? I don't know that.
Right now, they're going to, converse with, some youth on how it should be structured. But they wanted, as a group, they came forth, at a council meeting and wanted to be part of the planning and what it should have, so. I was, they're probably done by maybe August, September, or something like that.
It's just thinking you're gonna get a little bit different demographic. You might get a lot more middle school, high school kids that are interested in that. Kids are definitely interested. I was at the corner and a kid on a skateboard came by, and a very gregarious kid, because he started talking to an adult, which is not typical for kids that age. And I asked him, are you excited about the skate park? And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait until they have it. And so he was aware.
So they're gonna be part of how it. I look. Not too dangerous, we'll be fine.
Did you have any opinion or commentary on?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it went well.
About the last presentation, it could have been just a little bit shorter for the kids, got a little bit long,
Yeah.
well, for me too. I guess I've
Yeah.
got my own attention issues that I need to deal with.
Yeah.
But we just double the turnout next year. I thought it was a great foundation. Yeah, we're lose heart on it. You guys did a great job.
You can always be dangerous and, start asking for, suggestion, what you need to talk about.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if this would, if there's already like a survey mechanism, because I know this town has a lot of surveys, like kind of adding in like a, and not open-ended, one, here's a few topics, like which one most interests you in the next event like this to get input that way.
You know what bothers me a little, like, it seems like there's apathy, there's like this general apathy.
There is.
You know, like reaching out, trying to be like, oh, hey, if we do this, what do you get? And then just like, no response, you know?
No, you're right.
It's like, and then I get, and like, I doubt myself. And I get angry at the same time, and I'm like, why aren't you, we're trying to meet the people,
Yeah,
you know, so, I don't know.
no, I hear ya.
Yeah,
You
I
get
think it's
noticed,
Grappling with the
Yeah.
word.
you get noticed in Webster, make a misstep with the, Kirkwood Times, Webster Kirkwood Times,
Mm.
and you get plenty of responses.
Yeah, the Prairie Gate, I feel like.
oh my gosh, yes, I saw that.
And you know, they were completely correct. I mean, I don't disagree with, they were, you know, somebody should have contacted them. But
That communication resolves an awful
the
lot. of
prairie,
problems.
what was it, prairie,
They're calling them
Pocket
Pocket Prairie.
Pocket Prairie.
Pocket
Oh.
Prairie.
I know, I just saw a sign.
But it's in the, is it in the garden neighborhood? It's in one of them where they were maintaining the,
Run right down the street from where I live on Cooper Hill, because it has like this three-way
Yeah.
road and there's this triangle kind of piece and they.
Some of them city owned and some of them city don't.
Yeah.
And I think in Webster Garden, I think they, you have HOA there, don't you? You have HOA at Webster Gardens? Are you in Webster Gardens? Oh,
I'm in Clover Hill,
okay.
3 houses up from Buzz's Tacos.
But they were correct. I mean, they were right. You know, somebody should have told them, number one, they were gonna spray some kind of herbicide. And two, that they was gonna change it. They've been taken care of for the last 4, 5, 6 years. So, but, comment I made, is that the herbicide has been put down. Ain't no way to go back and suck it up out the ground and, you know, apologize and just start all over again next year, you know. And you know, the kids playing there and stuff, they should have known that and things like that too, so. But Times took a whole front portion of the front page and a big portion of page 9 about the herbicide. Oh, God. it must-
well, there's big problems in Webster, aren't there?
Hmm.
And that's our front page. I guess we should look at the positive side of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. so.
So,
well, thanks for the update. Yeah, bummed we can get more people, but as you said, first one.
Yeah.
Improve from here.
Vince, we have had the draft from your department of, when I asked about what are the guidelines, we don't have any, protest or exercising First Amendment rights, and we keep, there's other things that come up, and today we don't have a quorum. It's not like it's a policy decision that we're making. But I don't know whether we want to talk about it now or if we want to wait until next month when John Sauter is here, or if any of you have even had an opportunity to read it. It was, for me, just more an interest in knowing sort of what are the parameters of how that's responded to. And then since then, I told you about something that I read in one of the Facebook community groups about a group that is doing a banner drop on the overhead pass, and they're complying with, pedestrians can get through, but somebody didn't like that they didn't like something that they were saying and came up and confronted, and it was kind of intimidating. So that's why I brought it up and put it on today's agenda, because I just didn't want it to languish.
Yeah. And so, and I don't And I don't want it to languish either, but I would like to respectfully ask if we could bump this.
Mhm.
Because I wanted one of, one of my colleagues here today. We've been with the organization for 20 years, our assistant chief Weimer.
Mhm.
He can bring a lot more context to this.
Okay,
And I already see, I'm looking at this now and I see there's a couple typos in here anyway, so I'm already kind of embarrassed, but it's not his fault. He did not put this together, but he's aware of the information that went into putting this together.
Yeah.
Again, this is a draft, so if we could bump this, I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Maybe those who haven't read it yet, an opportunity, there's nothing in here that's groundbreaking.
no,
You can come here and you can do a peaceful protest, and oh, by the way, you can give us heads up, that would be great, you know, and if you want us to help you, we'll help you, and we'll give you some pointers on
Mhm.
how to be successful in exercising, you know, your constitutional rights.
well,
So,
and the suggestions too about how to ensure your safety and encouraging, you know, how to maintain a peaceable, you know, non-confrontational, you know, just ensuring people's safety.
Yeah.
Those are all valid. When you read about, you know, the ACLU or whoever, there are a lot of different groups that are hosting things like, I don't know, there's a big one out. When was it? May was a big one, where it was pouring rain, maybe that was April. But there were hundreds of people alongside the side of the road. It's the same suggestions that they give there.
Yeah.
You know, they're working with police departments and to make sure everybody's safe, so. All right. Well, that was the last thing that I had on my list.
Okay.
So I think we can have a short meeting today.
I
And,
asked an unrelated question, but.
absolutely.
Either one of you, do you know what's going on with the Edgar Road? That was all dug up because of the water main leak, and now half of that strip, when you go by the university, it's just all potholes and,
In Acre Road.
huh, yeah, right by the university. Edgar Road down, like, it starts at Garden,
Uh-huh.
going down Edgar Road past the university. It just put right, but it's the right lane coming down. It on the, you know, on the housing side of the
And
university.
it's not MSD doing any work.
We had a water main break, and then they
Okay.
came and dug everything out and replaced the water main pipe. So the entrance point to the University Center, that point down to the lighted garden is terrible conditions. It's,
Yeah, fix it, yeah.
yeah, I don't know if there's a.
I've been working on that for a while, haven't you? Cause I remember like getting complaints even in the winter where there were steel plates in some places. We're talking about the same length of road, right? I mean, it's right down the street from me. It's got, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I know Public Works is all over that.
Yeah, it's been that way. The water main break happened in. Mid-April,
Yeah.
I think. And then there was a gas leak.
When there's done like a water main break or water, whatever, they are actually the ones that fix the road and pay to fix the road because so it's not on the city.
Yeah.
So then we're kind of at the mercy of when it's on
The spin.
their schedule to do. That is how it's been in the past. So,
I know there's complaints about
but they
it.
didn't want to pay for damage that they didn't do.
Yeah, that's all. So, thank you.
Yeah.
They complained about the street up the road or something. They shall get up maybe like March. And there's still plates over it. It looked like they put one layer of concrete down, but they put the plates back over
Yeah,
it.
plates would be fine, but it's like, this is the lane.
Uh-huh.
It is. The middle of that lane is just, it's, and then you get down close to Garden, there's just massive potholes there, where if you don't know to go
Yeah.
left and go into oncoming traffic or whatever, you get hammered.
But we'll take you, there's a lot of MSD projects that want to start, not this fall, next spring. If they're coming down Brentwood, south from my church is at, they actually gonna cut straight from my church property. It's a pipe.
Yeah.
And from the school district, there's gonna be some digging. Then they'll be putting in a new culvert there at Elm and Purple. where it always floods.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be
Mhm.
a lot of business.
Okay.
John, I'll talk to our Director of Public Works and I'll ask him to reach out to his contact at the water company to see, you know, kind of what's going on and what the tentative timeline
That's
is.
great.
And I'll get back to you. Okay.
Yeah, no rush.
I just wanted to announce, I will send out an email. I need to get volunteers to do this national night out, if that's something that we all think is a good idea. I think it is. Unfortunately, I will be out of town, and so I'll need some other folks to sign up to do that. But I have all the goodies that we can hand out. I also ran some little flyer sheets with the QR code for the website. And so we'll have stuff there. So that's August 5th, and I'll send that email.
Yeah, you should be able to do
All right. Anything else? Well, I think that we adjourn.